Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. This is my YouTube channel, Just Count Me in Yoga, and my name is Sari Stone. I'm a holistic life coach, a tutor, and a yoga teacher. My students have been asking me for quite some time to post my classes, and so here's the first batch. These actually were pre-recorded during the COVID times. I recorded them for my job, but I will be recording starting in January 2 live classes a month, possibly more. And if you like these, please like, subscribe, share. Follow me on Instagram at SariStone2025 and come check out my podcast, Just Count Me In, about living your best life. And that also starts January 29th, 2025. I hope you enjoy your practice. Let's get into it. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please make sure that you have a mat for traction and then a block or a book or a cushion or something if you need a little bit of added support. I like to practice near a wall for some of these poses, but it's totally up to you. And most importantly, bring your sense of humor. Let's enjoy this next hour together. This is part one of part two of 2 parts. So please make sure you're doing this one first. All right, let's begin. So to start with, we're going to start standing today. Toes are together, about $50 worth of space between your heels. Arms are at your side, shoulders up, back, and down. And we're going to take a big, deep inhale and sweep the right arm up. And press the left hand into your the outer left thigh, reaching the right arm across, extending your right leg out. So a little bit of balance to start with. Breath. And breath out. Come back to center. Now sweep the left arm up on the inhale. And press the right hand in. Left arm comes up without the shoulders coming into your ears, and bring it up and over. And left leg up. Toes are pointed towards the camera. Breath in. And breath out. Come to center on the inhale, hands at your heart center on the exhale. A big breath in, and then bend your knees. Forward fold is your exhale. Now inhale, come up to a halfway lift, and then on the exhale, toe heel your feet hip width apart. Place your left hand on a block or on the floor. Here we go. And right arm comes up, picking up the arch of the left foot. So breath out, coming back to center on the inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, right hand on the block, right under your chin. Left arm comes up, pick up your right hip. Maybe pulling up through the arch of the right foot gives you a little bit more space. Breath, let your head go. Breath out. Release, hands down. Now I want you to come all the way down to your knees. Curl the toes underneath you. And sweep the arms up on the inhale. Press your palms at your heart center. Now interlace your hands here. Center yourself and push out with the palms. Bring it up. And arc over to the right. And up to the center, starting to wake up the body. Bring it over to the left. Come back to center on the inhale. Plant your hands down on the exhale. Your feet should be talking, nice and stretched out. Go ahead and flutter them out. Come to tabletop position. So hands right underneath shoulders. Arch the back on the inhale, cow. And then exhale, cat. 3 more of these, really pushing between the shoulder blades. And exhale, pressing down through the fingertips, clawing the mat. 1 more. And exhale. Walking your hands out in front of you, Anahatasana, ears between the biceps. Breath. And breath out, pulling the belly button to the spine. Now come down onto the elbows. We're going to come to Sphinx pose, lowering the bottom down, pressing your palms out a little bit more. We're going to do a little bit advanced version of Sphinx. So pressing, pulling that psoas muscle. Just lengthening through the front part of your body. Breath in and breath out. Hands underneath your shoulders, push up to plank pose. And then exhale, downward facing dog. So here's your resting pose. Pedal your legs, take an inhale. And a deep exhale, rolling the biceps out of the ears. Inhale, come onto the toes. Exhale, drop your heels to the right and push back into the hips. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, drop the heels to the left, pushing back. Breath in on the inhale and exhale the breath. Walk the feet in about 3 steps, so you're in a very, very short downward dog here. And let your head go between your elbows and just press. Feeling that space that you're creating in the sacrum, tipping the weight forward a little bit. You should feel an opening in your hamstrings, opening in the calves. So breath and exhale. Walk or jump to that space between your hands. Inhale, come up to a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees and reverse swan dive. Bring it all the way up on an inhale. And then exhale to a back bend. Bring your hands up and press your palms together. Now cross your thumbs, bend your elbows, press your head into your arms. Now interlace your hands behind the back of your head. You can rub your neck a little bit and arch up and back. And up and back. And one more. Feeling the joy in this pose, this posture of surrender. Breath in, hands up on the inhale. Swan dive down on your exhale. Inhale, come up halfway, step the left leg back. Exhale, right leg lunge. Now come a little forward and back, just lengthening, stretching, but not too much. We're not warmed up yet, we're getting there. Drop the left heel in on the inhale. Exhale, deepen in. Press down through your right heel and come all the way up. Warrior 1 foot pattern as your inhale. Exhale, airplane the arms. Inhale, twist it open to twisted lunge. And exhale the breath, deepen in. Inhale, bring it up and over to warrior 2. Keep going to reverse warrior. And exhale, extended side angle here. Now pause here. Bring that left hip back, sweep your arm a couple times just to get the fluidity of the pose. Take some angst out of the shoulders. And then on the third one, come up to star pose. Exhale to horse. Hands on the inside of the thighs, inside of the knees. Straighten the arms on the inhale. Bend the right elbow, look right on the exhale. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, go deeper. Inhale, come back up. Exhale to the left. Inhale, back up. Here we go. And exhale the air. Bring your hands up to star on the inhale. Warrior 2 again on the exhale. Cartwheel your arms down. Right arm comes up. One-legged halfway left. Revolved triangle. Or revolved half moon, I'm sorry. Your left hand can be on a block if you want for this. You pick your left leg up and right hand is lifted. So a big breath here and a breath out. Step your feet together, forward fold. Bend the knees, reverse swan dive. Come up on the inhale. Fill the room with your awareness. Exhale to a back bend. Arms out wide and a couple shoulder rolls here. So cactus the arms. 1, 2, 3. Forward fold as your exhale. Step your right leg back. Okay, now here you are in left leg lunge. A little forward, a little back. Bring the joy to your body. Finding joy in movement right now. Drop your right heel in and come up. Warrior 1 on the left side. Exhale the breath. Airplane arms. Inhale, lead with your left arm, twisted open, twisted lunge. Exhale, deepen into the lunge, watching that knee is tracking over the little toe. Inhale, open it up to warrior two. Keep it moving to reverse warrior. And then extended side angle. Sweeping the arm a couple times, maybe the other way, once, twice, 3 times, bring it up to star. Exhale, Pracerda. So you're going to have toes in, heels out, tipping the weight forward. Walking the hands out, maybe coming to dolphin arms here, maybe down on the block. Some of you might grab your ankles or interlace your hands behind above your head and let the hands drop to the ground or the direction up. Let your head go. Shake it no. Shake it yes. Now bend your knees, reverse swan dive. Come up on the inhale. Exhale's warrior two. Cartwheel the arms down here. Left arm up, right arm down. Now weight is on the right hand and the left leg. Pick up your right leg. That right hand can be in the corner of the mat or on a block. Exhale the air, forward fold, come to seed pose. So seed pose, give yourself a squeeze, get the nose between the knees, maybe you can balance here. You're in for 3, 2, and 1. Now put your hands down, straighten the legs, come to forward fold. Ragdoll. Hands are inside the elbow creases, come a little side to side. And then bend your knees, reverse swan dive, bring it all the way up, keep it moving. Exhale as your back bend. Straighten the arms on the inhale, and Utkatasana is your exhale. Breath in, heels lift, heels are slightly farther apart than your toes here. Inhale and exhale, deepen in. Sweep the arms up on the inhale, one-legged. You're down on the right leg, left leg lifts. Cross it over for figure 4. Now for figure 4, you can press your right hand into your left foot. You can facilitate the opening here. You can have your left hand on a block. Take a breath in and a breath out. So if the word yes had a sound, how would it sound? How would that live in your body? Inhale and come back up, one-legged Tadasana. Step it back, low flying lunge. Inhale, open it up to warrior two again, second round. Stay fluid for reverse warrior, this time with a bind. Bend up the elbow. Take your left hand to the right elbow and glide it down. Maybe hook your fingers, maybe look down. Staying committed to that lunge. And if yes had a feel in your body, where would you feel it? Just close your eyes for a minute and think that word yes. Now extended side angle. And this time, maybe we deepen it with a bind. Maybe the shoulder comes back behind you. Maybe you take a little bind here. The head comes down. Breath, a little bit more open than the last time. Breath out. Now take your hands, place them down on either side of the foot, and walk your right foot off the mat. Point those toes out to the right. Come high on the left toes. Okay? So from here, you're going to come onto the outside edge of the right foot, outside edge of the left foot, base up in your left hand. Pick your right arm up and drop the hip. And bring it up, stretching the obliques, and drop. 2 more. Feels good after working or before working. All right, now drop it back, crawl over your left shoulder, Skandasana to your left. Those toes are pointed out. Your right foot can stay down or you can have your heel up. And then Skandasana to the right, same thing. Foot can be down or heel can be up. Back to center on the inhale. And then walk your hands up. Come up, big breath. Exhale, warrior two to face the front again. Now hands on the hips. Pivot to face the front. Step your left foot out a little bit and open it up. Okay, a little page from the Ashtanga. We're going to do pyramid with palms pressed together behind you so that you can feel that lift to your right hip. Pulling your belly button to the spine, lowering down. Maybe you can be adventurous here and take a little bind, or maybe a bind underneath your right leg. This is totally up to you if you want to go here. The right arm comes underneath. And we straightenish that leg. So breath is so important here. Breath out. Now unwind your hands. Walk your hands to the middle of your mat and then out to the left. Keeping your feet where they are and push. Push to get an opening. Yours are between the biceps. Push in. Breath in and breath out. Come back to center on the inhale. One-legged halfway lift, standing splits. And then exhale the air. Place your left foot in front of your right. Spin your left heel out to the right and get your IT into the equation. There you go. The IT is sometimes forgotten until we have an injury, so we want to make sure we really take care of it. That's not the way to discover the IT. Yeah. Back to center on the inhale. Weight is on the right leg, left leg lifts. Land it back and lunge. Now base up in your hands. Sweep your right leg up. Bend the knees, stack the hip. Stay here or maybe come down to dolphin arm if you want on the left side and push underneath your right armpit. So breath and exhale. Come back to center on the inhale. Step it through, right leg lunge. Step the left foot to meet the right and forward fold. Bend the knees, reverse swan dive, bring it up, keep it moving. Exhale, Utkatasana. Deepen in, sit back. If it's awkward and uncomfortable and intense, you're doing it right. A little more space between the heels and the toes. Lightning bolt pose, breath in and breath out. Now weight is on the left leg, pick your right leg up, one-legged Tadasana. Cross it over, figure four. Push your hands in front of your heart. Now roll long through the crown of the head. And come down as slowly or as quickly as you want. Right hand can be to the ground, left hand can press into your right foot. You can come all the way to your toes in this pose, it's up to you. I'm not going there today, but you might. To make it a toe stand. Breath in and breath out. Now release, come back up on the inhale and step it back. Oops, onto the book. Low flying lunge. Sweep the arms up on the inhale. Open it up to warrior two. Exhale. Now hands on the hips here. Straighten the leg. Step your right foot out. And here you go, pyramid on the other side. Pressing the hands behind, maybe grabbing opposite elbow. Lengthening through the crown of your head. Warming up the body. Breath and breath out. One inhale and an exhale. Maybe head comes near the knee, maybe not. Maybe you have to shorten your stance. You can take the bind we took on the other side or take this one. Or just stay where you are. This is fine. Sometimes I like to just walk my fingertips back to get a bigger stretch. Breath in and breath out. Come up to center on the inhale. Now standing splits is your exhale. So breath out and cross your right leg in front of your left. Spin that right heel out to the left and walk your hands to the right. Here's the IT on the other side. And hands to the left. you go. Feel your body. Feel everything waking up. Come back up to the inhale. Lift your right leg. And then plant that right foot. Plant your hands. Sweep your left leg up on the inhale. Bend the knees. Stack the hip on the exhale. Making sure that that right heel is behind the right toes. And drop your right elbow down. Look under that right arm. So you've got a breath in and breath out. One inhale and an exhale. Come to center on the inhale and then come to your knees on the exhale. And grab your block or a book or a pillow if you want. We'll do a little bit of core work to heat up the core. You go. Bringing your knees in, knees together. Placing that block between the thighs. Okay, now we're going to give it a squeeze and reach the arms up. And then arms out straight. Now you might want to straighten your legs here, or you might want to stay right where you are. If you're shaking, you're doing the right thing. So what we want is a flat back. I like to grab the outside of my knees sometimes. Breath in and exhale the air. Lead with your right arm and sweep it open to the right. Twist it and back to center and twist it and center. A lot of shaking should be going on here, and that means your body's doing what it should be doing. You should feel a lot of heat. Okay, now go ahead, lose the block and grab the toes. Okay, from here, straighten your legs as much as you can. And this is a very tricky pose for balance. So take a moment to balance yourself and use that core. Open it up, reaching through the legs. That's it. And then coming back to center. Flat back again. You're going to hold for 3. Some of you might rock up and down. That's totally your call. This is an all levels, so we want you to have options. 2 and 1. Now from here, you can take your right arm underneath that right leg and give a little wave. I'll turn so you can see better. And then left hand underneath the left leg, give a little wave. Put the heels together. This is flower pose. One of the original poses, actually, one of the original 8. So you've got a breath. Keep your balance. Exhale the air. Okay, very, very wide-legged boat. One more time. Reach the legs up, and maybe you come around behind and get your shin as close to your head as you can get it. Strengthening the core, building the heat. One breath and breath out. Cross your legs. All right, come on to tabletop on the inhale. Nice and warm. Breath out. Okay, bring your right hand up on the inhale. Cross it under on the exhale. Okay, now from here, we can take a little bit of a bind. So your right arm can actually come underneath your right leg maybe. Doesn't have to, and maybe the left hand comes around. Okay, and then if you want, you can roll a little bit more onto your right shoulder. Get your right toes based, and pick your left leg out to the side or possibly up. We're just rolling it open. Find your space here. Find your breath here. Nice, and then come back to center. One cat-cow to relieve that. So breath, in case you built up some pressure there, and breath out, cat. Now sweep your left arm up and cross it underneath. Now you might stay here. Your other variation would be to take that bind, your left arm coming underneath and the right arm coming around behind. Also, another thing you can do is bring your right foot out and flatten that foot. Have your left hand, the back of your left hand on the ground, and just push to open a little bit more into the shoulders. So you got a nice shoulder stretch here. Breath in. With possibly the increased time on the computer, we need a little bit more stretch through the shoulders. 2 more breaths. And 1. Okay, come back to center on the inhale and push back to downward facing dog on the exhale. Okay, from here, come to dolphin pose. So you're dropping down. Elbows are right underneath shoulders. Gaze is in front of you. You can walk the feet a little bit closer. You can walk them closer and lift one leg and then lift the other leg. Okay, if you want to work on the inversion here, it's an option for that. I like to use a wall for that. So I'm pressing my fingertips into the edge, and bringing my feet up a little bit more. So left leg is up, and then maybe a little push, a little hop. Plugging the shoulders into the sockets and engaging my core. And bring legs back down. Remembering that these poses take time and the balance takes time. Okay, so back to dolphin pose. And then lower yourself to Sphinx. Okay, from here, bend up your right leg and grab that foot from the outside and roll over. Extend your left arm out in front of you and then out to the side and give yourself a little push and a little roll. Then left arm can come and grab that foot. So it's kind of like half floor bow. It's a good stretch. It's actually a good sciatic stretch, good for your sacrum. 1 breath in, and then roll onto your stomach. And same thing other side. Bend up your left leg, maybe grab the outside, give a little press. As always, if there's any knee pain, modifying, do not bend the knee that drastically. And then right arm out to the side. And I'm going to roll onto my left side and maybe grab that foot from the other side. You're in for 3. Give a little kick. 2 and 1. Come back to center. Okay, so next stretch, full floor bow. Okay. So you can bend up your right leg, half Bakasana first, just to get that quad. And then your left leg. And then grab both edges of your feet from the outside. And for this one, your head's gonna be down. Breath in, breath out. Now kicking into your hands, but keeping your lower body on the ground. Just pick your chest up. Only the chest, and you're in for 3, 2, and 1. Lower down, left ear to the mat, windshield wiper your legs. We're gonna do second set, so kiss the mat, if it's your mat. And then grab the feet. And now this time you're gonna inhale and pick everything you brought up. So big opener, big floor bow. Breath. Breath out. You think length through the back of the head, the back of the neck. lengthening that cervical spine. The only home that you have on this planet is your body, so you need to be tapping into that. And then relax. Right here to the mat, bend up your legs, windshield wiper the legs a little side to side. And then walk your hands underneath your shoulders, bend your knees, flex your feet, and come up. Straighten the arms. And push yourself back to child's pose. Hi, this is Sari Stone again. Welcome back for part 2 of your 2-part Vinyasa class. Please make sure that you've done part 1 first. Okay, and then let's go ahead and get started. Let's get right into it. So we ended in floor boat, and we're going to get down on the floor and extend the legs out in front of us. Okay? There we go, reaching the arms up. And then taking a little twist to the right, just to lengthen the spine. You just stretched. And back to center, taking a little twist to the left. Okay. Now bring the soles of the feet together. I'm going to ask you to stretch out the inner legs. I'm actually going to do things a little bit differently for this flow. We try to change it up a little bit every week and add new material, new poses. So just to get that opening. One breath here and a breath out. Now take your left leg, place it down, put your right ankle on top of your left knee. And you might get your knee right on your ankle. So common mistake with this is that that leg is on the inside. We want this leg to be out, parallel. So that you've got a good angle. This is full Rajakapotasana, full pigeon pose. Really good pose for people that experience sciatic pain. And it works. After a few breaths, you start to feel that opening. If you're feeling open already, you can twist, you can walk your hands out in front of you. I'm getting quite a good stretch right here, honoring my body. 3 and 2 and 1, and then switching it out. So now right leg is on the bottom. Remember, easy mistake is to go into easy seat. This is not easy seated pose. We're going to bring that left leg over. Left ankle is on top of the knee. This is one of the original 8s too. It's called fire log pose. And they believe the origination of this is that yoga teachers used to get paid with firewood logs for their fire. Just a little bit of trivia. So that's breath and breath out. Just relaxing into it. Maybe taking that twist if you want, or maybe bringing your weight forward a little bit. I'm going to stay right here. This is good for me today. One more. And an exhale. Okay, before we go back to the rest of our standing series, we're going to increase some energy by doing one back bend. Okay? So come to your center. We'll come to Ustrasana. Camel pose. So bring a block between your knees if you want. Take your hands, fingertips up so that your shoulders are out of your ears. Your toes can be curled under, but they don't have to be. And then long through the ears, diagonally reach back through your ears. And then slowly, that might be where you are, or you might grab your heels and push your pelvis forward. You're in for 3 breaths. And come back to center. Okay, very vulnerable pose. Let's take a moment and counter that. So have a seat. You can grab your right wrist with your left hand and arc it over. If you want to deepen this stretch a little bit, you can bring your hips down to the right side and get a stretch like this. One breath. And breath out. And then come back to center. Drop your hips to the left. Grab your left wrist with your right hand. Rock up and over. Gaze can be where you want. And back to center. Okay, let's go. All right, cross your legs wherever you are, and we're gonna meet back in downward facing dog. So downward facing dog. Ripple round forward to plank. Pass through chaturanga. Give an up dog and a down dog. Now step your right leg through. Drop your left heel in. Lead with your left arm and come all the way up to warrior two. Now hands on the hips. Extended side angle. You can do this with your arms behind you, making a little mono fist onto your left hip. Let your head go, maybe onto the right hip, and then come down as low as you want. Hand can be on the hip here. Okay, now the right hand can come down onto a block. We're gonna come to Shavasana for some of you, okay? Or half moon. So for half moon, your hand can be on a block or on the ground. And then left leg reaches. As long as you see your toes, you're in that vertical plane of your body, you're good. Okay, now some of you might want to grab a foot, do a little Shavasana here. Go. And we're going to Kapinjalasana today, so this pose is very much like Shavasana, but like a revved up version. Revved is not always better, so we're going to do baby Kapinjalasana and regular Kapinjalasana. Okay, your release and push back, warrior two to a quick star, hands on the hips, pivot to face the other side, your left. Come to warrior two, hands behind the back, interlace your hands, and then over to the left. Maybe to extended side angle, maybe you just take that bind and keep going for half moon on this side. The block can be your best friend in this pose if you're modifying. Bring that right leg up, looking down the front of your body. Maybe bending that knee, maybe not. So one inhale, woo, and an exhale, land in warrior two. That was less than grateful. Some days are like this. Come up to the center and hands at the heart center. So a little forward, a little backward, little side to side here. One more set of horse, pressing the knees apart, lengthening through the crown. Breath. And dip the right shoulder, left shoulder look right. And back to center. Dip the right shoulder look left. Just twisting it out. And come back to center on the inhale. So toes in, heels out, press area. Take your hands underneath you just like we did to start, except we had our feet together. Now take your left hand to your right ankle and pick up that left hip. Maybe take a twist around. Let your head drop. This gives you lots of space through the sacrum. Twisting it up gently, and then coming back to center. Right hand to left ankle, left arm around behind, picking up that right hip, and twisting it to the left. Letting your head just fall in. And come back to center on the inhale. And toe heel your feet together. Bend your knees, reverse swan dive, come up. Okay, here's a new pose that we just introduced last week, lake pose. Hands up. So if this hurts your hands too much, you can just reach your hands up. I'm trying to interlace. And then very carefully come up to your toes. Shoulders out of the ears. This is a wonderful pose to build stability and to work those stabilizer muscles. So breath breath out. Ooh, a little balance trick. And then hands at your heart center. Okay, very, very quick dancers on this side. So your left arm is going to reach, your right arm is out to the side. Bring the hand to the inside of the foot. And give it a little kick and a little reach. This pose teaches us presence. And release. And other side. Right arm up. Left arm out like you're carrying a tray. Bend up that left leg. Ground down through the right foot. Sorry. And give a little kick and a little reach. Come back to center, sweep the arms up on the inhale, and press your palms together, forward fold as the exhale. Come up halfway, and meet me in tabletop position. So here's tabletop position, and the right arm is down. Now you're going to come onto your right side, and bend up that left foot. Grab the outside and just open it up. So there's Baby Kapinjalasana. Wonderful back bend. Pretty accessible for most people, but it does take a while. It takes practice. It takes a certain level of openness. Let me try the other side. Pivot the shins out to the left. Here we go. Give a little kick and a little reach. Okay, if you want to try this version again, you can. If not, we're going to come to downward facing dog. If you're feeling adventurous today and you want to try that, let's do it. Okay. So we're going to come to center. And then walk your feet in a little bit. It's kind of between plank and downward facing dog. The right foot is going to base up. You're going to base up in the right foot, so you've got to have a flat right foot pretty much for this to work. And the hand can be out in front of the shoulder. Now this looks like I'm going to flip the dog, which could happen. But maybe I'm going to try to shift the weight forward and get my balance. Whoop, and grab that foot. Woo. Might not happen. Nope, not today on this side. But you get the visual. You'd be grabbing your foot with this hand. And then kicking in. And then back to center. And pedal it out. Walk it in and ground down through that left foot. And pick your right leg up, and maybe you flip the dog, maybe you grab the foot. Totally your choice. So you've got breath, and breath out. Okay, come down to the knees. Now that didn't happen for you, as it just actually didn't happen for me, but I demonstrated, I hope, enough for you to see. It could be for any number of reasons, and that's okay. I'd like to introduce you to these poses just in case you want to experiment with them, not as a suggestion that you do, okay? All right, this is about taking our bodies where we can comfortably be, going a little bit outside the comfort zone just to have fun and see what's happening that day, and then coming back to ourselves and feeling good. Okay, so let's do a little bit more work on hamstrings to open those up. You're going to come to downward facing dog and step your right leg through. Now from here, you're going to take a twisted lunge. So left elbow goes to the top of the right knee. You can press your hands together, lengthening. My thumbs are to my heart. I'll show you. And that left foot can be up or the heel can be down. and then I try to twist into that, getting a long line of energy. And you can play around with taking the bind here if you want, taking your left arm under and your right arm around behind, up to you. Breath, lots of options. And then from here, release to runner's lunge. So if you want to try runner's lunge on a block, I kind of like that one myself. I have my elbows on the block, and it enables me to get a little bit deeper and just resting into it. Sometimes the magic only happens after a few breaths. Then hands down, left hand under, right hand can come around behind. You might get the quad opener, you might not. You can take a twist here, and then kick into your hand and twist it open. This pose opens up all the chakras, it lines everything up. Breath, and breath out. So carefully engage your core, walk your hands back. And if you can't sit on the foot, if that's too much on your knee, then this is your option for your hamstring opener. If you can, then come and have a seat. We're going to get into the outer hip as well, so taking the right heel on top of the left knee, and maybe walking the hands out to the center, and bowing in. And then coming back up, maybe twisting it to your left. And twisting to the right. And extending that leg out and bowing in again. Maybe bringing your hands over to the outside, bringing the left hand to the outside of the right foot. Making sure we're taking care of all the parts of the body that we can. Get back to center. Okay, we're bouncing out. Come back to right leg lunge. And step the feet together, forward fold. Bend the knees, reverse swan dive, bring it all the way up on the inhale. Standing Ustrasana is your exhale. So you're gonna press your hands behind your back, and then you have an option here. If you have a wall and you'd like to walk down the wall with your hands, you can do a drop back like that, okay? With your feet apart. Or you can press your thumbs into your sacrum and loop the shoulders up, back, and down, and just get that opening. And then back up, slowly, and step the feet together. And honor that transition. Let the pose resonate in your body. Let it just be for a moment. Digest the pose. And breath out. Okay, now forward fold and step your right leg back this time. We'll come to twisted lunge on this side. I'm going to demonstrate the modification. You can have a straight back leg off the ground, or just as good, you can have your right elbow onto your left knee and lengthen this way. Just pressing the palms, rotating the torso up toward the ceiling. We're in for 3, 2, 1. And coming back to center, coming to runner's lunge. Up to you how you want to do it. Some people love this pose, some people are averse to this pose. And then coming to your quad opener, bending up that leg and grabbing, pressing and kicking, rotating the spine, rotating the heart up, getting that quad stretch. And then coming back, and remember, We can stay here for this hamstring stretch. Or, if this is okay for you, come down and have a seat, okay? And then bring your right heel on top of your left knee. There you go. Starting to cool the body down and get you ready for the rest of your day. You can take a twist to the left. Feeling that outer hip. I believe we started with the feet. We worked all the way up through the shoulders, the crown of the head. Did a lot of expansion, a little core. You should be feeling pretty good after this. And then extending your leg out. And maybe taking the right hand to the outside of the left foot. Maybe taking that twist, taking a little bind if you want. We did some different balancing poses today. Bowing in. Okay, let's get one more set of back bend. All right, so you have option of bridge or wheel here. You put your feet down on the ground. Okay, if you would like a supported bridge, you can put the block underneath your sacrum at any height, which is what I like about this. You can have a nice supported pose, a nice opening through the front of the body. If you want regular bridge, you can also, support your low back with this pose. Just getting a little bit more opening through the sacral area. Other options include a higher bridge. So I have to come onto my toes to get this under my sacrum and figure out where that is. And then you can, from here, stretch your legs out. Which is a very intense psoas opener. Or put the soles of your feet together, which is a great hip flexor opener. Just feeling the body open, feeling the compression in this lock between your chin and your chest. Ready, come back to center. Extend your legs out. And put your left hand on your left hip. Bring your right knee into your chest and bring it straight up. Okay, we're going to reset the SI joint. Take your hands behind the belly of the right thigh. Push it away from you as you pull it towards you. The goal is not to get this near your face. The goal is 90 degrees here. So you're standing on your left leg, you're pretending, and pushing while you pull. Wonderful if you ever have SI instability. And then back to center. Bring that knee into the chest. Take your left hand to the outside of your right foot and extend it up. Pick up your hips, cross it over. You might kick a wall, it's okay. Pick your hips up, pretzel pose. Bend up your right leg under, grab the inside of the foot, left leg under, grab the inside of the foot with your right hand and get that stretch. Now come back to center, put your right foot down on the ground and let it just open. Open up the pose, release your legs. This is good for your lordotic spine. Come back to center on the inhale. Now put your knees together, windshield wiper your legs a little side to side. Feeling the changes that have happened in your body so far? Now take your right leg down, take your right hand to your right hip, pick your left foot up. And remember, we don't want this close to the head, we want this at 90 degrees. Square the hips and press. Get the belly of the left thigh with the hands and push away from you while you pull it towards you. And release, try it again. Push it away while you pull it towards you. We've had a lot of movement, a lot of flexion of the spine, so we want to make sure we're stabilizing everything. Okay, now from here, you can grab the outside of your left foot with your right hand, extend it out as much as you comfortably can, maybe grabbing the toe, and then picking up that right foot with your left hand, pretzel pose. You're in for 3, 2, and 1, and then release. Put your left foot on the ground, roll onto your back. This is for your lordotic spine. You're in for 3, 2, and 1. Okay, bring your knees into your chest. Take a little lap around your spine, north, south, east, west, and go the other way. Now rock up a few times, grabbing the knees, extending your legs out in front of you. Come back, grab a little cheek, reach your arms up on the inhale, and then fold forward on your exhale. Grab a hold of whatever feels good. You can use your block. So grab your block. These intense forward folds help us to feel calmer. And we know for a fact that yoga increases the GABA production in your brain, and that's that feel-good type of hormone. Coming back to center. Now taking the block, putting it between your shoulder blades. Find a spot that works for you. You can also use a pillow here. And then lay down slowly, reclining Supta Baddha Konasana. Arms are out, cactus. Your legs can be up, or you can have soles of your feet together here. If you find that you get anxious in this pose, put a block under your head. What this is meant to do, and you'll know when you hit the right spot, is open up that counter, that slouch that happens from driving, from texting, from being on the computer, opening up across an area that we constrict. This is one of those poses that the magic starts to happen in about 5 breaths. Some people even choose to take their Shavasana in this pose, so I'm going to give you that option. We've twisted, we've done whatever you need to do. If there's something else that you need to close, this would be a good time to take the pose. Because we're getting ready to come to final Shavasana. Okay, for that, take your hands, press your knees together, and carefully come up off the block. It's like a posture reminder. And come back onto your back. Give yourself a final squeeze. And then Shavasana. Legs out wide, take up a little space. Rock the head side to side. Swallow to release your jaw. Pick up the shoulders and press them into the ground. and release. Press the back of your hands into the ground and release. Press your knees into the ground and release. Press your heels into the ground and release. Concentrate on that space behind your eyes and fill it with the light. Connect yourself up a couple hundred feet above the room you're in, towards the sky. And just let that energy pour in through the crown of your head, through your throat, down your chest, around your stomach, through your hips, and let it come out through the soles of your feet. And just feel this peace, because this is always available to you. You don't need to practice yoga to get here. It just helps us sometimes. Remembering that awareness lives in your nervous system, not in one section of your body. So bring your awareness to this state. And if you have a little bit more time to stay here, please stay in Shavasana. If not, if you need to close your practice formally, start to come into your breath a little bit deeper. And reach your hands above your head. Roll onto either side. And push yourself up to a seated position. Taking your hands in front of your heart, pressing your thumbs into your heart, keeping that space between your palms symbolically, because that is the space between stimulus and response. And we always have the option to choose. Thumbs to your third eye center. The light in me sees the light in you. Thank you so much for practicing with me, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Namaste.